All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. The name is Igho. The channel is Igho Reacts. All right, we're gonna be doing 8 creepiest true crime stories. Not gonna say much. Let's get it.
Number 8. Aurora Massacre. On July 20th, 2012, about a half hour into the midnight premiere of The Dark Knight Rises at
Oh
the
shit!
Century 16 movie
I heard about this. I remember this.
theater in Aurora, Colorado, a man dressed in tactical clothing rose from the front row, set off tear gas grenades, and fired 76 shots into the audience using numerous assault weapons. Of the 400 people inside the theater, 12 were killed and 70 were injured. 58 of them by gunfire and 12 others in the scramble to escape. Police rushed to the scene and within minutes arrested the assailant, who was wearing a load-bearing vest, a gas mask, a ballistic helmet, and bullet-resistant leggings. Beneath all the gear, the shooter's hair was dyed bright
Damn,
red,
bro.
and he reportedly referred to himself as the Joker. His real name is James Holmes, and his calm and disconnected
People taking this shit too serious, man. I know you came to watch the Batman movie, but god damn, bro. That was too extreme, man.
demeanor during his arrest just added to the bizarre aspects of his crime. Police found his apartment booby-trapped with explosive devices, including 30 homemade hand grenades wired to a control box in the kitchen. In 2015, prosecutors turned down Holmes' offer to plead guilty in exchange for avoiding the death penalty. He was found guilty of 24 counts of first-degree murder, 140 counts of attempted first-degree murder, and 1 count of possessing illegal explosives. His family pleaded for him to be spared from the death penalty, claiming that Holmes is severely mentally ill. Jurors failed to reach a unanimous decision regarding the death penalty, resulting in 12 life sentences without parole for Holmes. In 2018, William H. Reed, one of the court-appointed psychiatrists who spoke with Holmes at length about his crimes, wrote a book about his experience interacting with the criminal called A Dark
I guess he got the best outcome for him, not for the people who killed, though. So,
Night
yeah,
in
that's
Aurora,
crazy.
inside James Holmes and the Colorado theater shootings. In an interview with the Associated Press, he admitted that the book's conclusion about the inner workings of the murderer's mind might disappoint readers, stating the answer, and this really is the answer, but it's not very satisfying, lies in an unimaginably detailed and complex confluence that we just can't replicate, because we can't see all of it. A big part of it is it's hidden in Holmes's mind, and he can't see it either. Number 7. Identity fraud from beyond the grave. In February 1992, a patient who called himself Thomas Hughes had a heart attack and passed away at Danbury Hospital in Connecticut. Hospital staff soon discovered that all the identifying information the man gave them was false, leading them and detectives around the country on a seemingly endless search to determine his
Wait, what? Why would he do that? That's crazy, man.
real identity. Weeks before his death, the patient had checked into an Allentown, Pennsylvania hospital as Thomas White. He was later connected to hospitals in Rhode Island, California, and elsewhere, where he provided various names and stories, including that he was a Persian Gulf hero and one of the world's 40 stained glass.
I'm just thinking about this. Maybe he did that stuff because of insurance, man. Like, medical bills are so expensive to pay in the US, bro. Bro probably just faked some shit just to get away from from the bills, man. Goddamn.
Artisans who were trained at the Vatican, the Morning Call reported. In addition to using false names, the mysterious patient gave fake social security numbers, addresses, and employers. He stayed at each hospital for several days before sneaking out in the middle of the night, knowing the bill would never reach him. Before he
Exactly.
died, the man made several phone calls to attorneys with apparent plans to sue for injuries. No family members immediately came forward to identify the man, who mental health experts theorized might have been homeless, perhaps checking into hospitals using fake identities to get free shelter and meals. They also entertained the
Another reason.
possibility that he had a mental illness that caused him to constantly seek medical care for real or imagined ailments. When the case aired on Unsolved Mysteries in 1993, viewers recognized the patient as Thomas Patrick White. It's believed that he suffered from Munchausen syndrome, a condition that causes a healthy person to constantly seek medical treatments by deliberately
never knew
causing
that.
or exaggerating their symptoms. Number 6. Luna Park Ghost Train Fire. One night in June 1979, the Ghost Train roller coaster at the Luna Park Amusement Park in New South Wales, Australia, erupted into flames, killing 6 young boys and 1 father. Officials ultimately classified the fire as accidental despite numerous eyewitness accounts from park visitors who overheard a suspicious leather and denim-clad group of teenage boys talking about using kerosene and matches at around the same time smoke began pouring from the ride. One bystander, Les Dowd, immediately went to the police and gave a statement, which he claimed in a recent ABC interview that he was pressured to recant. Speaking publicly for the first time since the incident nearly 42 years ago, he said, "I heard one of them say, 'I spread the kerosene out, and I lit it with a match.' Another one said, 'You're a fool for doing it.' They started running towards the exit." Another park visitor named Tina Shakeshaft claims that the police pressured her to deviate from her statement, which was very similar to Dowd's. She refused and they eventually relented, but Shakeshaft was never summoned to testify at a judicial inquiry and was among 26 witnesses described as taking the inquiry no further. A search for the criminals was abruptly called off the following evening. The news broadcast claimed that the police found no suspicious circumstances, even though by then they had received eyewitness accounts of the adolescents and their discussion about using an accelerant to light the ghost train on fire. Even the park superintendent, Alan Chappell, had told of reprimanding a group of youths matching the description of the suspects earlier that evening. And the ride's operator recalled seeing them enter the queue minutes before the fire broke out. But these stories have allegedly fallen on deaf ears, and the suspects were never found after barely being searched for. The disturbing event is the subject of a new ABC documentary called Exposed: The Ghost Train Fire, which is finally giving overlooked witnesses a chance to speak out about what they saw and heard. But their decision to open up comes at a cost. Dowd, Shakeshaft, and others describe living in fear, constantly looking over their shoulders, and wondering if the criminals will ever catch up to them for daring to break their silence. Why do you think this incident has been kept so hush-hush? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Number 5. The disappearance of Margie Jelovsik. Margie Jelovsik was a young widow managing a tavern in Gary, Indiana, when she met a high-ranking motorcycle gang member named Randy Mad Yeager in 1996.
There we go. That's how it starts.
The two hit it off, and unbeknownst to Maggie at first, Yeager had an extensive criminal record. Furthermore, he and several other members of the outlaw Chicago gang were under federal investigation for a laundry list of additional crimes, including racketeering, drug dealing, and murder. Margie's behavior changed in concerning ways as her relationship with Yeager progressed. She distanced herself from family, and when Yeager and 17 other suspects were indicted for their crimes, she became even more devoted to him. Instead of fleeing from the obvious red flags right in front of her, Margie stood by her man, even after he went on the run from the law. She became paranoid that she was under surveillance and constantly feared that the authorities would catch up to Yeager. Several months later, Margie vanished, leaving behind her car, luggage, personal effects, and the inhaler that she relied on for treating her asthma. The woman's family suspected that Yeager had kidnapped Margie, but law enforcement was not so quick to assume that her disappearance was voluntary. The U.S. Marshals Service finally caught up with the pair in 2014 after tracking them down in Mexico, where they had apparently been living for 17 years.
Wow.
Yeager was taken into custody, but Maggie unfortunately died after leading authorities on a high-speed chase and crashing the vehicle she was driving. Number 4, a clever...
All right, I'm gonna stop this. Going on a little long, but I want to be trying out this true crime documentaries. It might be interesting. So if it works, I'll keep doing it. If not, I'll just try something else. But all right, that's gonna be my reaction for this, guys. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.